Hi
Hi guys.
guys. How's everybody doing? I'm David.
This is Chris.
And this is our first episode of the Williams
Coffee
Coffee
Chronicles.
Chronicles. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that we're finally doing this. We've been talking about doing it for weeks.
For weeks, yes, definitely.
Yeah. And so I'm so excited to be here. Everybody got their coffee or their
Yes.
tea. Listen, get your daily dose of energy. Today I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking, some energy tea. Wake up, get your daily dose of energy.
Yes. And the tea is so amazing and fresh and just so excited. Ooh, I'm just so excited. Just to be here in front of y'all guys. Just to bring you what we experience and like the the today's world or what's going on or situations that has been going on or different people that have made false reports and killings
Oh my goodness, it's so
and the
much.
social justice, like just the craziness in this world is just blown minded.
Yeah,
You know.
it's amazing, crazy things that's going on today. But before we get into that, we just
Yes.
want to say hello. Come on into the room.
Come on, guys.
Welcome, 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 welcome. How are you? How's everybody doing this morning? Listen, let me tell you something. I got my quarantine hat on today.
Sure
We
do.
both do because ain't no barbershops open still, right? So, I couldn't make that as an excuse not to come live because I still got to go to work. I'm an essential worker. So I still got to go to work. So if I could fix myself up to go to work, then I could fix myself up to come on camera. I hope my quarantine hat don't look too raggedy. What y'all think?
It looks good. It don't look raggedy, in my opinion. I feel
Listen,
like you can hardly see me, child. I'm like this whole coop is like I'm
you
outside and
hide
have
it
a
under
whole
your.
bunch of sun.
Look like you getting ready to go to the play soccer with your kids.
Maybe so, child. I don't got no kids, but I got a little dog that get on my damn nerves all the time.
Listen, listen. Don't be talking about Bam Bam like
That's my
that.
baby, but he's a lot of work. Uh, But I tell you, if you have a dog and you get a puppy, you have to be patient because if you're not, it's gonna drive you crazy.
Yes, they will. It's crazy. We have a 7-month-old, and we are going to get another
Another little
puppy.
puppy, another girl, Willow. Oh,
Yeah,
can't
that's
wait.
coming in 2 months. So yeah, we'll have a full house here.
Yep.
But yeah, so we're just happy to be here on the Williams Coffee Chronicles. The ways to let you know a little bit about ourselves if you never watched us. We have a show which you're watching on the Williams Legacy Love on Top, which is a show about relationships and love and commitment. And we wanted to do a segment that is like a morning segment,
Yes.
to wake everybody up, to give everybody their daily dose of energy. Listen, so we're
Exactly.
going to be doing going forward, you'll see us doing exercise and working out and cooking segments, and we got a whole lot of stuff in store for you.
Meditating,
Meditation, yes.
relax the brain, relax the body. We also it's gonna be talking about a word of encouragement, just to encourage people that's in this quarantine that really don't have nobody to actually talk to or nobody to reach out to. You can reach out to us because we be in the morning show and we be going live also with the Williams Legacy Love on Top as well.
Yeah. So let's just jump right in, right? Because it's so much going on in the
Yeah.
world today, like the craziness that's happening is I
It's
don't even
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's far from being ridiculous, especially that we have this one incident that was in the park,
Oh my God.
especially in New York City. Some people feel like they very surprised when it comes to New York City, like that's just a city that's not racist at all. It's a lot of racist and prejudiced people in New York City,
Yeah.
and it's not shocking to me that actually happened in Central Park because it's plenty of times we went to Central Park and we was passing by and people turn up their nose and uh, roll their eyes, and we're not just talking about just Caucasian people, but just anybody that was racist and prejudiced.
Yeah, and listen, if you don't know what we're talking about, there was a situation
Right.
with a woman in the park. I think her name was Amy Cooper.
Yeah.
And she was asked to put her dog on a leash. And her response to that, a black man asked her to put her dog on a leash. And her response is that, better yet, instead of me telling you what happened, let me just show you
Exactly.
what happened.
What happened.
Craziness, okay?
Yes.
Just take a look at this.
I'm going to tell them there's an African American man threatening my life. Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Excuse me?
Insane.
I'm sorry, I'm in the Ramble, and there is a man, African American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
And she's like hurting her dog.
And you saw how she.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
And then how she just totally went into
I'm
this
in Central
whole...
Park in the Ramble. I don't know.
Panic mode.
Thank
just
you.
A fake mode. I just don't get it. So you saw how everything basically happened?
It's craziness.
It's just so crazy.
I don't know. I don't.
just don't get it.
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, clearly, she was a racist person.
course.
Clearly.
And she knew and acknowledged her privilege. She knew, and just hear this, she knew and acknowledged her privilege. So you cannot tell me she was she was like, oh my God, it wasn't just somebody just attacking me, but it was like an African black man attacking me. So to me, you clearly could see that she knew if she would have told this to the cops, this man would have been dead.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, everything that she got, she deserved.
So what has happened, as far as I understand, the dog was taken away from her, right? She was, I think she had adopted the dog, so the agency that she adopted the dog from removed the dog from her home, or she voluntarily gave the dog up. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I'm pretty sure they threatened her with like animal cruelty or something. And then she lost her job as well. I still think that a police investigation, and it doesn't really even need to be an investigation because it's very clear, it's on tape what she did, but she needs to be charged with filing a false police report.
Exactly. Just the simple fact that she was in charge, in my opinion, I understand that she lost her job. You know, when you work for a company and they don't believe in stuff like that, then they will fire you or for racist and prejudiced stuff, especially on their behalf, and especially if you represent in the company. And then on top of that, she had a dog that she rescued. On the video, it's clearly you see her almost choking the dog, and he's like crying and slammed him to the floor. Like, to me, that's total abuse.
Yeah.
You cannot, and then just the simple fact that he was a rescue dog make it worse.
Yeah.
Because he just came from something like that. And for you to call yourself loving animals and do that to an animal is unacceptable.
Absolutely. So, you know, she's up there, she's apologizing and everything. Oh, I was just mad. No, you knew exactly what would happen if you acted in that kind of way. Okay, and so the way I say about Amy Cooper, whatever you get, you deserve. Okay, and hopefully that this is a lesson to you to not act in that kind of way, to think before you act, because the results of it, we're living in a social media age, right? And people are quick to pull out their phones, and then you will become the next phenomenon, Karen.
Exactly. And the crazy thing about it is that how the whole situation is surrounding everything. Your apology is we accept it, but it's unvoid, because as being, and cause she was a Democrat, as being a Democrat and stuff, that we go through stuff like this every single day, and just the simple fact that you knew your privilege and how you totally acted like you was underneath attack is unacceptable.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny? It's something you said before. You said that it was funny how people were so surprised that this was New York, and that and that also that she was a Democrat.
Exactly.
And a Obama voting white woman.
Right.
And people were super surprised at that. I think that, even though we are in a space of trying to defeat and get rid of the racist rhetoric that comes from the White House, from who, we won't even say his name, from who sitting up Orange Man in the White House.
Exactly.
Even though we're trying to dismantle that right now, we have to speak to the realities of the fact that racism exists within our own party. And if we don't acknowledge it, right, then it will continue and it will perpetuate. And then we become no better than the people that we are fighting against, right?
Exactly.
So just because you voted for Obama, love Obama, miss Obama, but that doesn't give you a pass. You don't.
Exactly.
That's just like a white woman saying, "Well, by the way, I have a white friend."
Or a black friend.
I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. I have a black friend, and that somehow makes it okay that you are doing something that is racist.
Right.
So I mean, that's just crazy. And then beyond that, we have the situation with George Floyd that's happening, where the police officer killed him.
Yes.
And bro, did you see that?
Kill him in broad day. I think this happened in Georgia.
No, I think it was
in
Minnesota.
Minnesota. It was people. First of all, how it happened is that the cop approached the car while the guy was in the passenger seat. He asked the cop. Actually, the guy came out the car and got handcuffs. Didn't resist arrest, didn't do all the craziness, and he actually handcuffed him and put him on the gate, and the guy sat down. So I don't know through the video how the guy just all of something got on the floor, but then the guy was on the floor, and the officer knee was on the guy's neck, and the guy was saying, "I can't breathe. Can you please let me go? Give me water. Can you help me? Why are you on my neck? What is going on?" And just the simple fact that he wouldn't even bear, and the officer eye, if you ever saw the video, was so angry, like he wanted to kill this black person. And I feel like cops like that is undercover KKK, prejudice and racist cops. I don't have no respect for them at all. Because if you do something like that, you're supposed to be protecting us, not killing us in the street and then getting away with it and then doing over and over and over again until we all dead. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, and he had his knee on this guy's neck.
On his neck, and wouldn't even let him go until the guy died, and then dragged his body. His two legs dragged him while it was blood coming out his mouth. It was so explicit. It was ridiculous. And just the simple fact, the governor, I understand the governor, saw this and he was upset about it because, that is just not right. If you, NYPD, you should know better because you're not supposed to be killing us. But the governor got the guys fired, but fired is not acceptable because
No, they need to be charged.
Be fired and be charged with murder. You just killed a human being on camera in front of everybody, and then it went viral. That's unacceptable. And I'm very emotional about this situation because it keeps happening.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah, it's craziness. It's craziness. It's craziness. I had a conversation. I work in a luxury residential building, and I had a conversation with one of my Caucasian residents yesterday, and she made some great points where she was saying about how, she as a white person is tired of just posting on Facebook and Instagram about what's going on. She wants to put her body in it, and she feels as if she doesn't say anything, that she is complicit. And I agree 100%. For all those people who are white, Caucasian people who have black friends, black spouses, black co-workers, people that they care about, and they don't say anything about what's happening, that makes them 100% complicit with what's happening. Silence is complicity. If you are silent and you don't say anything, then you are complicit with what is happening. And you don't have to affect the whole world. People looking at this as a huge thing, well, what does my privilege do? Or how can I use my privilege? Well, what about using your privilege to affect those around you?
Right.
Starting with your friends and family members. The lady she said, my father is a policeman. And I said to him, because he's just totally torn up about all this that's happening. And I said to him, well, when you see it, say something. And that's how you use your privilege to dismantle. When you speak truth to power to your family members. We all have individuals that we can individually affect, right? We have people that are close to us that we can affect. If you have a family member who's a police officer, or you are a person of Caucasian culture, if that is who you are, use your privilege to dismantle, okay? Put your body in it. And the thing is, you don't get to break bread with me.
No.
If you cannot stand up for me.
Exactly.
And the thing is what she also said was that, I don't know what it's like to feel fear when police officers come and they are in your presence. I don't know what that's like as a white woman. And her husband said, I don't understand what that's like as a white man. But I want to help. What can I do? That's a wonderful question. What can I do? Sometimes I don't have the answer, but asking somebody of color, what can you do, is very, very important.
It definitely is.
So we we want to have a moment of silence for George Floyd in his life, and we're not just gonna march, and we're not just gonna talk. We gotta be strategic about what's next. But let's just have a 10-second moment of silence for George Floyd. Rest in peace, George Floyd.
Rest in peace.
So, what else do you want to talk about? There's so much going on. Oh, listen, we got to talk a little bit about this coronavirus and what's happening.
So, It's sadly, well, it's just sad that a lot of people had died from the coronavirus. People that we know, people that is close to us, people that is in our family had passed away from the coronavirus, and then people all over the world, basically. And it's just so sad because as the system, you know, even just with everything that's going on, that it's just so crazy and sad, and people's losing their mind over quarantine. Just the simple fact that people that is above, which I'm talking about the government, which that is just so unorganized, basically, that it's like what's going on when it comes to just being safe and protected, and when they supposed to be coming out with a vaccine that they feel like it's going to take 2 years, and sometimes I even saw certain doctors, they said it was going to take 10 years. So it's like, I don't understand, like, what is going on? Like, is it, are we going to see a vaccine? Are we not going to see it? How are we going to operate? How are we going to reopen? It's just so much things that's going through my mind. It's just, like, really crazy. It's just, people just don't know the answer. It's just having, us just
dangling on the
string around, like, well, just keep them inside or wear a mask. But how about getting back to normal? Like,
well, we're never going to get back to normal.
No, meaning that not just normal physically, because it was never normal from the beginning, because it was just prejudice, racist, and everything above that was going on that was just corrupt. But I'm just talking about normal as me taking off my mask and breathing and going into the stations and going into the train stations or going places where people is. That's what I mean by normal. I can't do that. I have to have a mask on, basically. And it's just upsetting to me that the people that's supposed to be controlling the country is in competition with other country about a vaccine. We should all be helping each other.
But because that's
like, it's ridiculous.
That's because this country is completely about capitalism, right? So everything is about what we can possibly get for financial gain. What is it how much money can we amass? How much things can we obtain? And even when it comes to the lives of people dying, with this coronavirus, they will still try to monetize suffering.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm most concerned about. I'm praying that the people who come up with this vaccine are people, first of all, I pray it's another country that comes up with it before we do. Because I can only imagine under this administration that the vaccine itself will try to be monetized or given to the people who they think have the most privilege or money.
And you know who on top of everything, orange eyes and orange and blonde hair, is definitely going to try to use this for his own gain, to dangling with people's lives, and going to try to give it to the rich people first before he even give it to just the people in general, the people that live in the country and the people around the world. With this man, it's just a money game. He don't take nothing seriously. You supposed to be up there, giving speeches and empowering people on making people safe, to know, to wear your mask, to, have social distance. You don't even wear your mask or have social distance. So how you gonna tell somebody to do this, but then do something else? That is just unacceptable. And it's just wrong.
Yeah.
It's just very wrong. And I'm just so happy that, election day is coming up and voting. Us black people needs to go out there and vote. Stop playing games. This is no games. It's too many people that's dying out here. If you want to make a change, go out there and vote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is how you want to make a change. Not popping, not talking, not just running your mouth. Even, I'm not just talking about black people, just human beings in general. This is no game. This is our life on the line.
Exactly.
If you don't vote, it's going to get worse, and it's probably going to get even bad. And that's not a good thing. When I talk about bad, it's not just U.S. in general, but I'm talking about the universe, the world, the human nature, you know? Because it seems like human beings don't even care about that.
Yeah.
And this is why the virus is here.
Listen.
Because you're not even caring about Mother Nature. What you expect?
Listen, Junior Colazzo says working in the hospital is just insane that every single day is something new. Working on pediatric COVID unit, we now have adults in the unit as well. I wish they would show what we see in the news. I want to say, Junior, thank you for your service. Thank you for putting your body in it. Thank you for being an essential worker and working in healthcare. You guys are like major superheroes right now. We couldn't do this without you. And the truth is they should show what's really happening in these hospitals in the news.
They should.
And one thing I want to talk about on that, now that we're talking about essential workers, I just want to touch on the fact that, I'm an essential worker. I don't work. I'm not a frontline worker, but I still have to go to work during this pandemic. And I also think that there needs to be some sort of it's hazard pay for essential workers.
Yeah,
we have to leave our house. Everybody else is staying home. The government has given, unemployment. If you can get through and you can get it.
Right.
That's difficult as well. But if you can, you've been given an extra, I believe it's $600 a week, to stay home during this pandemic. And I think that the people who got laid off, they deserve that, But also, people who are working deserve to be paid for their services because they're putting themselves at risk. And thank you is great, but we still got to feed our families. And if we're putting ourselves at risk, we should be compensated.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I want to say about that. That everybody keep safe. Still wear your mask. Our own personal experience. Chris already had coronavirus.
Guys, I already had COVID-19. I tell you the truth, it's everything what you seem. I just thank God that I didn't have really bad symptoms. And I also want to thank people that was actually there for me. I also like to thank Dr. Reverend Katrina. She was also, keeping up with me when it comes to my symptoms. She called David and text David and FaceTime. Well, FaceTime David. I think it was FaceTime or inbox.
She inboxed me on Facebook. She
inboxed David every single day just to keep up with me, just to see on if I'm getting up, if I'm actually breathing, doing my breathing exercise, if David is patting my back. She also sent the black seed to me. That really helped me with my immune system. It got me back in order. So I just want to thank you, Dr. Katrina. I love you so much. Thank you just for that. That means so much to me, and I love you for that. And I thank you that you was there and you was by my side as well. And I also want to thank Pastor Vanessa Brown, which is my pastor and my bishop. When me and David didn't have masks, she provided us with masks and stuff. She had the other deacon, deacon?
Oh no, Minister Tanya.
Minister Tanya actually came to give us our masks and stuff just to keep us safe and have like social distance from everybody else. So I just want to thank them too. Thank you so much for actually caring about us. and protecting us. We really do appreciate you, Pastor, and we love you so
We
much.
love you, Pastor.
We
We
love
love
you
you.
so
Thank you for
much.
what you do for the people. Thank you for what you do for the people. Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was a rough road,
It was definitely a rough
Yeah,
road.
I
I never expected. I had a whole bunch of chills. I was fighting, but I told David that prayer and God is gonna get me through this. Prayer and God is definitely gonna get me through this, and it did. And I thank God. I thank God so much. And I pray so hard every single day, not just for me, but just for everybody that had COVID-19 or just did not have it. And I was just worried about everybody. So I was praying for everybody. And I just thank everybody that y'all guys is safe and y'all guys is healthy. And I thank everybody, even my church family, for all your prayers and was keep praying for me. And I like when I was there in my bed, I received it because I felt the prayer, and I felt the prayer coming from y'all guys, and I felt the prayer coming from God, and God covered me. So I just thank y'all guys so much. I really do appreciate y'all guys, and I really care about y'all guys too as well.
Thank you, Chris. I just want to go through some of the comments. I would put them up on the screen, but I don't know how. So let me see. Yes, capitalism is right, Junior. Hi, Cinnamon. How are you? Just want to acknowledge our people that are on. Hi, Wanston. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, I'm just thankful that Chris was able to get through that. That was a heavy ordeal for the both of us, because it was difficult, being a caregiver, and trying not to get sick, having an underlying illness myself.
Right.
That was a little bit scary, but God is always on the throne.
Yes. God's good.
And yeah, I can't talk too much about that because I got the Holy Ghost, and I might go in. So let me just sip my tea here.
I could tell you this, that was a breakthrough for me when it had to do with life. It was basically, God was basically telling me, he kept me alive for a reason. And everybody have a purpose on this earth. And if you have a purpose on this earth, then you need to go and do what you need to do and not just wait. You need to go what you need to do, your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you again. I'll just echo the words of him. Thank you again for all those people who reached out, all those people who helped. And we are still lifting up and praying for all those people who are still being affected,
Yes.
by COVID-19. But yeah, so now let's just try to lighten it up a little bit. We done talked about racism. We done talked about prejudice. We done talked about white supremacy. We done talked about COVID-19. So let's just liven it up a little bit. We want to play a little game.
Yes.
All right. I don't know how to play this game, so you tell me, how does this game go?
So this is the first game basically that we did before. It's basically like a card game.
Is it like questions or something?
It's questions. It's like and you answer the questions. It's basically have to do with your social life and who you are as a person and what you stand for as a person in the world, and then other stuff that's fun stuff like activity stuff that's go on in your everyday life, basically.
Okay. So let's try it. I'm going to pull up one of the cards and we're going to see. Okay. So there's a question there that says, what are you the most proud of? So I guess I'll ask you that and then I'll answer it.
Yeah. So what I'm the most proud of is life. Life is, in my opinion, is the most, amazing thing to have. in this world
Are you saying you're the most proud of your life?
of my life.
Okay, and what can I ask why? You could.
Because it's the most important thing that a human being needs. And it's the and in my opinion, like I said before, we all have a purpose. And in our purpose is that if you don't have life, you can't basically achieve what you need to achieve in this world. So you need life to do the things you want to do. So that is what I'm most proud of, and I'm most also proud of is having an amazing husband and amazing life.
So you most proud of me?
I'm most proud of you as well.
Yeah. Okay, so what am I most proud of? I think what I'm most proud of is the life that I have built or that we have built together. If not too many people know my story, I was homeless at one point, and yeah, so that was a really difficult thing. So I think what I'm most proud of is the fact that I've been able to come up out of that space of homelessness. I've been able to create a space of comfortability for me, stability for me. I am proud of the fact that I have come from a very, very staunch background religiously, very, very fundamental, and that I've come to this place of freedom, that I can operate in ministry. I'm proud of my music. There's so many things that I'm proud of.
I'm proud of my fashion,
Yeah.
my business, even building up stilt shoes, and even about to even build up my nonprofit, which is coming soon. But I'm just proud of just the works of everything that's going on and what is going to happen even much more farther of the success that where I'm going to.
Yes.
So that I'm very excited and happy about that.
Yeah.
So much.
Okay, so the next question, uh, tell us something nice you did for someone else.
Well, it's a lot. I guess I could start with this. It was one of our ex friends, basically.
Oh, child.
We mostly did it, like one of our ex friends that was actually disabled didn't had any
He did. He didn't.
he didn't have any like great or not workable crutches basically. And I with disabled people, because I have a lot of people in my family that's disabled, and I don't really like to see anybody that is you know that cannot do for itself or cannot physically help itself and stuff. So I would like to mostly go in, if I see that, I mostly will go in and just do it just the kindness of my heart to care. And when I saw that, is bought him new pair of crutches so he could actually walk around in the street or even at home, so that way if something happened to him and he broke down, he wouldn't if this word is cruel, and it's like it's bad to even say that, but it's times when we was on the train, people didn't even let him sit down and they saw him that he was disabled. So stuff like that I don't like to see, but just the simple fact that I saw that and I knew that was an issue, I knew that was a problem, and it actually helped him out to walk around, and then helped him out to walk around outside. That made me so proud.
Yeah. Something nice that I've done for people. That's a difficult question for me to kind of pinpoint, because I really try to live my life doing nice things for people. I mean, I think that it's just nice to be nice. But if I could pinpoint one thing, I can remember a little. This is some years back, probably even before I met you, um, where I had a friend who I heard was sleeping in the park, and because I have my own experience with homelessness, came all the way from where I was living at the time in the Bronx all the way to the city, and went searching for her at 1 o'clock in the morning, to bring her back to my house so that she wouldn't be outside, sleeping. And as somebody who has suffered and who has gone through homelessness, I never want to see anybody go through that. So that's something one that I'll pinpoint that's nice that I did. Let's see, what is another question? Who inspires you?
Who inspires me is my mother. And reason why I say that, my mother and my father. But them two really do inspire me because they are strong and entrepreneurs that I feel like if I did not have them as parents and stuff, I just probably would just be a regular person. But just the simple fact that I had two amazing, strong parents that went out there and provided for its family and then help other family that surrounding the family to get them on their feet, that made me so proud. That made me so like acknowledge just the strength that is in my mother and my father.
Yeah.
That's something that I want, to have as well. And I did pick up that trait as well, and that's why I am the type of person that I am, which helping people, because I have my parents that did the same exact thing as well. So I am so happy that they was my parents and they was there and present. And I'm just so inspired by the strength and the power that they have as individually to create a person like me.
Oh, that's good. What did I say that inspires me, or who inspires me? There are a couple of people, but as I will say, I'm extremely inspired by my pastor, extremely inspired by my spiritual father, Bishop Joseph Tolton. Those people inspire. I'm extremely inspired by Bishop Flunder. Those people inspire me because God is my life and has always been. and you laughing because
I done marry a minister.
I be in here just worshiping and giving God my all. But those people inspire me because growing up, religion was something that you just did perfunctory. You just went as it was on schedule. You went and every week, 3-4 times a week. But those people inspired me to have personal relationship, and it also inspired me to know that your personal relationship should be a mirror and should have action and should affect the world. So now my relationship, though personal with God, is connected more to an activist point of view about what should the love of Christ look like in the world, and me as a disciple of Christ, what should I be doing to affect change in the world? So those people inspired me. I'll run down the list again. Pastor, Bishop-elect Vanessa Brown, Reverend Doctor. She inspires me because I need to take my tail back to school. Also, my dad, Bishop Joseph Tolton, and our presiding prelate, Bishop Flunder. So those are the people that inspired me. I'm just going to choose one more question, and then we can kind of move on. Let's see here. If you could travel back in time, which year would you visit and why? Think about it. If you could travel back in time. Now, that's a little difficult as a black person.
Right. That's what I'm about to say. Right.
I don't know if I want to go back too far.
I don't know, child.
Now, mind you, it could be any time. It could be.
You know what? I think we had a discussion like this yesterday when I brought up that when we was talking about the questions and stuff that we was gonna have on live.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that if I could travel back in time, what year? If I could travel back in time, what year would I travel to? And my question was when this country first started. And the reason why I say that is that, in my opinion, I feel like when they first, it was already, in a certain mindset when the country first was presented that it didn't,
Coronavirus.
Girl, don't fly. It didn't really that much was it kind of was a negative thing, but you had certain people attention to give everybody all human rights and not just a particular person. But I just wish that I was back in that time just to change. If you could just change one situation, one thing in that circle that would have changed their mind into doing something else differently, then the America that we would see would not be the America that we in now. It will be a totally different America. It will be a totally different U.S., a totally different world, basically.
So basically, if you go back to that time and make and affect change. Yeah, and delete
all any racist prejudice or just ignorance out of the people mindsets. If I could just basically just do that, we would be in a totally different atmosphere today.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that would have been going on when it comes to wars, black people getting killed, slavery, women not having their rights, different issues that we have would have never happened if all this stuff was addressed back then when the country first started.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. So you went deep. I wasn't even thinking that deep, but if I was gonna go back to any time, it would probably be a time I was living in. I never thought about going back to any place beyond where I lived. I love the 90s. I love the 90s for the music. I love the 90s for how there was a sense of innocence. There was technology starting, but technology wasn't in charge. We were out running and enjoying, life and not stuck behind video screens. Even more so now. If I would say a place I would go back to, before this pandemic started, that's where can we go back there? What about, I got the perfect place. What about we go back to right before who won the election?
Exactly.
And I ain't gonna say what, but
right. Who we talking about.
What if we go back there and make sure that don't happen?
Exactly.
I think we'd be living in a different world now.
Exactly.
Right, well, that's our little game and our little questions. So we were supposed to have somebody come on today because we wanted to have a little chat about polyamory, but I don't seem to be able to get him on. I don't know, let me check and see if he's there. Venus, are you there? Venus, darling. I don't know what's happening there, so I guess we're gonna have to try to get him on another time. But
That could just be the next time we basically go live, guys. We will have that topic. Just keep that in mind and tune in on that exact day. I guess we be going live
that'll
every
be
morning.
that. Yeah, so
So
we'll
tune in.
try tomorrow.
Yeah, we will try tomorrow to actually. He's having difficult technician issues, so we would try tomorrow just to get him on, and the topic will be to have an open mind, basically, and polyamorous relationships. So just make sure you tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. For that subject.
I just want to acknowledge all of our people that are watching. Hi, Cinnamon. Hi, Wanston. Hi, Joey. Hi, Renair. Hi, Chiquita. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. Hi, Pastor Brown. Thank you all for watching. So this is something that was going to continue to grow. We want to have your feedback. We want to know what you guys want to talk about, because if we're going to do this every morning, we're going to have something to talk about. Listen. So we want to know what you guys want to talk about. So if you have something that you want to talk about that's on your mind, please feel free to put it in the chat, and we will, grab on to it, and we'll talk about it. Yeah. So anything else you want to talk about?
Um, no, that's probably basically mostly it. I think at this time we wanted to give a word of encouragement about, you know, just to tell the people just to be safe, stay strong in this world, and going in this world, basically make sure that you physically pray up and cover yourself, and anything that is negative or just un human, basically, or just some a negative energy that trying to attack your spirit, basically just make sure you meditate and pray.
Yeah. Um, my word of encouragement is this: that God will not bring you this far to leave you. And that even though it may feel like you're on the edge of a cliff, I believe that if you fall over, the divine will catch you. Um, God's hand is ever present. God's spirit is ever surrounding us. And I know that in the midst of craziness happening in this world, whether it be racism, whether it be disease, that it feels like God has left us, we are not alone. And I know I personally feel his hand and his spirit often, even in the midst of this trial and tribulation. So I just want to say to you guys to hold on, hold fast, find something to do that makes you laugh. Yes, we know that there's craziness happening in the world. We're very, very clear that, there's things going on all over, but don't let that consume you. Find a moment to center yourselves. Chris and I have started to do meditations every morning at the urging of our pastor who does it. And it's been amazing, right?
It's been amazing, yes. It's definitely relaxing to the mind, to the body, to the soul. It puts you in a totally different space. Um, um, it relaxes you. And that's something that us human beings need in this type of crisis.
Yeah.
We need that healing. So when you basically wake up in the morning, and that's the first thing you should do is meditate to start your day, and drink tea and do your exercising, and then go into your day.
Yes.
On how it's gonna start.
Because all the craziness will be there when
will be
you're
there.
done. I promise you, it ain't going
Yeah,
away.
it ain't going away.
And so take a moment to center yourself.
Yep.
So yeah, this has been our first episode, however crazy it has been, of the Williams Coffee Chronicles. As you can see, we're wearing Williams Coffee Chronicles shirts, and we have Williams Coffee Chronicle mugs. Can you see it? These are available or will be available for purchase
On our website.
Which will be up and running
tomorrow.
WilliamsLegacyLoveOnTop.com.
That's it.
Right? So if you have enjoyed this, please feel free to like and to share. And I will post, if you feel inclined to donate, please donate. We will post down in the comments, in the pinned comments, we will post our Cash App. So if you feel so inclined to donate, please do. And this has been an episode of the Williams Coffee Chronicles. And until next time, guys, we love you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, guys.
All right, take care.